Hi, this is Eric Allen on behalf of Aileron. Bill McAdory is Vice President of Organizational Development at Miller Valentine Group. In this discussion, Bill lends his insights and his thoughts on dealing with the challenges of a reduced workforce. Thanks for your time today, Bill. To start things off, what are you hearing business owners talk about when it comes to the topic of evolving workplace? What's the buzz and what are people currently doing?
Everything that was talked about today are things that people are doing. They're either freezing salaries, reducing salaries. I don't think there's any entity, private or public, that has not had layoffs. Some more significant than others, and some have done pay cuts. None as large as I heard today, but in the 5 or 10% range. And also restructuring, shedding through the process of shedding unnecessary costs. So I would say in this economy, everything is up for reconsideration. I don't think anything's off the table.
Obviously, business owners have to consider a multitude of factors when dealing with the recession, but how does a business owner decide what's best for their company? How do they pick and then take the first step?
I think you raise a good point yourself, and that's the danger of thinking there's a cookie cutter approach. Mm-hmm. There's a cookbook approach to this. It has to be tailored to one's specific business, and unfortunately, these business owners are going to have to use very high judgment in choosing the right course of action. But one thing is universal, and that's that you have to keep your head above water on cash. So whatever you have to do that, they have to do it, and that's their call. There is a very strong case that can be made, however, that you're probably better reducing headcount than making drastic reductions in pay, because you do two things there. One, you may have an unrecoverable morale issue, and two, you make some of your best and brightest ripe to be picked off in this market.
How can you restructure an organization without cutting too much manpower?
I've done this too many times, and there is very little in these unprecedented times that you're going to be able to do without cutting headcount. Now, you can minimize that impact by eliminating what felt or was previously perceived to be absolutely necessary. So you have to learn to be very lean and determine those things that you can do without. And in most companies, that's true. That's a true statement. So for every $15,000-$20,000 that you can cut out of expense, G&A, then you can use that then can go towards salaries and benefits for the people you want to keep. Mm-hmm. So it's whatever scale you're on, the type of employment. Mine is I would be looking for every 100,000 I get to keep a productive employee. So I'll cut costs first. But when I run out of cost that I can cut, then I have no choice.
How can a business owner strive to maintain a healthy and positive work environment after there have been so many cutbacks in staff numbers or in benefits, etc.?
Well, that's interesting. My view on that is people are going to fall into three groups. The cynics, that greedy owners and employees are going to have to pay the price. Those you probably can't do a whole lot about, but you got to be mindful of that so they don't impact the rest of your groups. Then you got the middle group that are fairly logical and tuned in and really know what's going on, that expected it, and so they're going to feel fortunate that they're still there and they still have a job. Then there's another group, and I'm not giving percentages here because it's different for all cultures. Then there's another group that's going to be surprised. That sounds unfathomable, but there are people that just don't pay attention. They're surprised by that. So So understanding those three groups and really taking their emotional temperature and helping them to understand. One thing that we do know is adults don't have to like what happens. They just need to understand it. And if they can understand it, then they can better cope with it. And then also letting them know you care authentically. That cannot be a superficial thing.